Southern California is mourning the deaths of 10 people shot and killed at a Monterey Park Lunar New Year event over the weekend. The mass shooting is the deadliest ever in Los Angeles County. We have team coverage this morning, starting with Gigi Graciette, who is standing by in Monterey Park. Gigi, good morning.
And Tony, we start off with breaking news as the coroner's department has publicly identified 2 of the 10 victims. Take a look. They are 65-year-old Mai Nan and 63-year-old Lilin Lee. And while family members and friends have also identified a 3rd victim, Ming Wei Ma, a dance instructor. Other victims were told by the coroner's office range in ages from 50s to 70s. And all of them were killed, say police, by this man, 72-year-old Hu Can Tran of Hemet, who less than 12 hours after the killings made his way to Torrance in a van with stolen license plates on it and committed suicide when Torrance police officers tried to pull him over. The crime spree, though, started at 10:30 Saturday evening here in Monterey Park at the Star Dance Studio, where a lively crowd was dancing the night away in a celebratory party for the Lunar New Year. Witnesses saying Tran arrived and opened fire just like that, shooting indiscriminately at everyone, killing 10, injuring 10 others, some left in critical condition. But it wasn't over, because just moments later, and less than 3 miles away, he appeared at another dance studio, the Lele Ballroom. And Christina Pascucci is going to have more on the men being called heroes today for possibly thwarting another mass murder. But this morning, Monterey Park is in mourning. We spoke to the mayor today, who told us that last night he met with Governor Gavin Newsom.
I think it was very important that the governor of our state came to see how we were doing. You know, again, this tragedy has never happened in a place like Monterey Park. And so I think, you know, for many people who may have a feeling that, you know, we're alone, and I think the visit by governor really was appreciated, and it was a demonstration that we're not alone.
And that was the message the mayor said the governor had for Monterey Park, that they are not alone. The governor also meeting with first responders and some of the victims, offering up state resources to help. Now, we're going to go live now to Bob DeCastro, who is also here in Monterey Park with more on the man behind this mass murder. Bob?
Yeah, I know you've been talking to some of the residents here this morning, Gigi, and amid all of the sadness, the shock, there is that question that looms large here, is the why. Why would this 72-year-old man walk into a crowded dance studio here during this beautiful celebration and open fire? As we've been saying, we do know that the suspect is 72-year-old Hu Can Tran, believed to have lived in Monterey Park at some point, but for the past year or so, he had been living in Hemet, and we've got pictures of a search that was conducted last night from the U.S. Marshals and also the Riverside County Sheriff's Department and Hemet Police of that senior community living trailer mobile park where they searched his home in that search for answers. The neighbors there that we had talked to had said that he was a nice person. They had seen him riding his bike around the neighborhood, that they had seen him walking around the neighborhood, and never seemed to be any sort of a threat. Here's what else those neighbors had to say.
Tran was just a nice guy. I mean, I'd see him riding his little small motorcycle in and out, and once in a while in his van, but he'd stop to pet your dog, and you know, everybody around here just thought he was just some quiet little guy, you know. You know, the people I've talked to are just stunned that he was involved in this and kept to himself. I mean, you'd see him out walking, but pretty much lived alone.
Those neighbors also say that they believe that he was a ballroom dance instructor. Other public records, however, show that he was the CEO of a trucking company called Trans Trucking. That company dissolved last year. Authorities, as we said, trying to determine some sort of a motive. They say that he had no known criminal record, but there are all kinds of reports swirling around that perhaps he knew someone inside the dance studio and that this was some sort of a domestic dispute, that there was some sort of jealousy involved. There was also talk of some sort sort of a possible mental illness. All things that have not been confirmed by authorities this morning, and that many people here who are still in mourning hope to get some answers. We'll send it back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you for that. And yes, as the Monterey Park mass shooting rekindles the ongoing debate of public safety versus the rights of gun ownership, which we saw coming. In this case, the shooter's gun may have had a high-capacity magazine, which is actually banned here in California. We spoke with Democratic Congresswoman Judy Chu, who represents Monterey Park.
We've had these mass shootings, but they've increased in frequency with Uvalde, with Buffalo, with Club Q, and now in Monterey Park. And we know what the solutions are. We know that people like this should not have guns. And we have a very common sense bill, the universal background check bill, which does save lives and keeps guns out of the hands of violent and criminal persons, but there are loopholes. And the loopholes are that you can evade the background check if you buy the guns online or at a gun show or from person to person. So we have to close those loopholes.
The Monterey Park community will hold a vigil tonight to honor the victims. People are encouraged to bring flowers or candles. The vigil is tonight at 7 o'clock at Monterey Park City Hall, and Judy Chu will be joining us in the 10 o'clock hour, and we can speak to her more on this.